Sure. Oh,
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna start recording. Go ahead.
oh, gotcha.
Sorry, Gabriel.
It's all good. My name's Danny. I'm an IT major. This is my first class at, actually, sorry, my second class at Tune, and I'm kind of scared to be honest.
Okay, well, that's reasonable. I'm sure you've, read things, online about how hard this class is, and I
hmm
think my hate my professor.com ratings are pretty bad, so but I'm not as bad as it sounds. We'll have lots and lots of opportunities to work together, and so when we go over the syllabus, you can check out the office hours and you'll have lots of opportunities to get help.
Gotcha.
Thanks for letting us know a little bit about yourself. Deontay?
How you doing? My name is Deontay. I'm a IT major. My hobby, I would say, is clothes. I like to make clothes, and also I'm a senior, so this is not my first class.
Right. And it's important for you to get through this class, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Nice to meet you. Edwin?
Well, my name's Edwin Mina Lopez, and I'm a freshman. This is my first class at Towson. And one of my hobbies, I think I'd say, is cooking. I started to cook, I would say this summer. Like I do like cooking. Like I guess I can cook maybe steaks and salmon
Yeah,
and chicken. That's a protein. Not much else, I think. Gotta work on that.
we should have a barbecue on that fall Friday here at my place, and everybody who cooks
Yeah,
can bring their yum-yums.
yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Sushi too.
Nick?
Hello, my name is Nick. This is my one of my first classes at Tune. Um, I'm a computer information systems major, and I'm really excited to try this class, but a little bit nervous because I've heard that this class is very tough and difficult. But I think it'd be something nice to try,
Right.
and very new to me.
Okay, well, that's all very reasonable. I hope that you find that you have a successful experience. That's what we're shooting for. We want everybody to experience success. Nice to meet you. Kendall?
Hi, I'm Kendall. This is my first year at Tune. I'm a transfer from HCC. And I don't think this qualifies as a hobby, but I work in the elementary schools most of my during the daytime, so I don't really get too much time to myself.
Oh, wow. I guess you don't. Holy cow. Well, welcome to the class. Let's see, Brianna?
Hi, my name is Brianna. I'm a senior information systems major, and a hobby of mine is sewing.
Oh, cool. Do you design your own clothes or do you use patterns?
Yeah, I have designed some of my own clothes, but I want to get some patterns from like Etsy.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Ronnie?
Hello. My name is Ronnie. I'm a junior. This isn't my first time or my first classes. Computer science, and I'm in the Air Force.
Oh, wow. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your support.
It's great to meet you. Marcus? And we still would like to see a little more of your head. There you are. Okay.
My name is Marcus Anderson. My major is information technology, and my hobbies are working out, Xbox, watching football, that sort of stuff.
You're busy.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
That's me, you too.
Eric?
Hi, my name's Eric. I'm a computer science major, and I like to play video games in my free time.
Okay. Anything in particular?
No, I kind of keep a open mind when I play.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Matthew?
Hey, my name is Matt. My major is IT. I'm a sophomore this year, and my hobbies is going booting, and I like to watch football.
Oh, cool. Well, it's very nice to meet you, Matt.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Ahmed?
Hi, I'm Ahmed. I'm a senior. Um, I'm an IT major. I guess one of my hobbies is I like cars, specifically BMWs. That's my
Oh,
go-to
nice.
one.
So do you
Yeah,
have a Beamer?
I have four.
You have four? Holy cow.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's your favorite? How many CCs does it have under the hood?
One's a 6.6
Holy cow.
V12. The other two of them I have are 3.0, and then actually one of them was a 3.0 diesel.
You have a 6.6. I am so jealous.
Yep, it's a 12-cylinder twin turbo.
I guess you can outrun the cops in that thing.
Very fast.
That sounds like fun. I'm so jealous. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Hossein,
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. My name is Hussein. I'm a event thrower and I'm a junior. My major is computer science.
Well, welcome to our class.
Thank you.
Zane? Is it Zane or Zane? I can't hear you. We're having mic different. You want to chat to us? Just tell us a little bit about yourself. We'll come back to you. Why don't you chat to us and then we'll look at the chat. Isaac, I can't see you. Where are you, man?
Oh, hello, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Sure can.
What's it called? I'm at Walmart right now. I just signed up for this class like an hour or two ago, and I'm not on campus just yet.
Okay, so we're so glad that you're here, but if you're driving, if you wind up driving, just turn the just jump out of the meeting, okay? Please don't drive.
Yeah, I'm not driving. I'm at Walmart right now.
Okay. Got to get those student essentials for the fall.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, but for future classes, you'll be in your designated space, I'm sure.
Yep, I will, ma'am.
Oh, okay, great. And I'm looking at Zane Davis's message. And it says, yeah, sorry, I got a reload Zoom. Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I'm here. I just had to reload it because I had to enable my mic.
Okay. Yay.
You can hear me though, right?
Yeah, now we can hear you great.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Zane. I'm an IT major, currently a senior, and some of my hobbies is I like working out, cardio in particular. I like video games as well. That's about it.
Cardio, huh?
Like running specifically, running or swimming. That's my favorite.
Very good. Good for you.
Thank
Good
you.
for you. Folks, it's so nice to have you together in the room. I appreciate your using your cameras so that we can try to make this as close to being together in the same room as physically possible. And that's going to be the goal of this course, is just to be as close to being in the same room as possible. We all got lots of experience during COVID, and I'll be logged in twice. I'll be logged in with the one account where I'm going to pin this one in a minute. I'm gonna be pinning this one right here in a minute, and I'll be writing the class notes here, and these are already uploaded for today. They'll always be in the Blackboard site. So our goals for today are to go over the syllabus and then have our first short lecture on section 1.2, which is the only section in chapter 1 that we're going to cover. And it's just some information about how to write sets, because everything in mathematics is about sets. So for now, what I'd like to do is go ahead and share my screen, and let's look together at this course syllabus. So this is up on our Blackboard website, and it's kind of a who, what, where, when, kind of how setup. So just to kind of keep it simple. And of course, this is for you, comp sci, IS, and IT majors. And occasionally, some people take discrete math to satisfy their core core requirement. It always amazes me when somebody does that. It's rare. And I'm Dr. Elizabeth Good. You can call me Dr. Good, and there's my email address. And when you do email me, always use your TU email address when you communicate with me. And if you want to communicate about a WebAssign assignment, you can use the messaging app in WebAssign if the inquiry is about WebAssign, either a question, there's an ask your instructor kind of thing you can click if you're having trouble with a particular problem, and I'll check that daily. And I do check it on weekends, even though I don't put that in writing. You can count on me to be checking stuff, and I kind of live, eat, and breathe this class. So I'll make myself very available to you. So what is this class? It's Math 263, discrete mathematics, and our book is edition 5 by Susanna Epp. She is really good. She's a great writer, and I think you'll find that her book is fairly easy to read. Of course, the default access is through Red Shelf. Look for your email from Red Shelf and opt in. Actually, I think you're automatically opted in. I think you just have to opt out. I'm not sure about that. Anybody want to tell me, did you have to opt in or do you opt out? Anybody know? Did you have to do anything to get access to the book, folks?
No, they give it to you automatically. You just need to opt out if you want to.
Okay.
Yeah, they charge you like once the date for switching classes is over, I think.
Okay. Yeah, and I think everybody gets 2 weeks free, and it goes to your Bursars account, right? All right, so technology requirements. Obviously, you need a computer that's not your phone. Okay. In order to really be able to take advantage of the full features of Blackboard and WebAssign, you need a working webcam and mic. You are expected to be on camera during class. You've got to have a mic that's working. I know sometimes things get glitchy. If you live in some kind of black hole of internet connectivity, let me know. Hopefully you won't have any problems. Attendance is required, and understand that knowing we're going to be on camera and having a designated space where you actually really focus on where you focus on just this material is going to help you with your performance. That's scientifically proven that if you have a space where you work on a particular topic, or subject like your math, and you always go to that space, and then when you're working on your homework, you're in that space, it all kind of helps your body and your mind associate that space with thinking about math. And you're going to need, of course, a scanner or a scanning app. Everybody filled out the form and clicked yes, of course. So I'm assuming you know how to make a PDF. The first homework, special homework, will be a good test of that. I'll be looking to see, that you can follow directions and create a nice cropped, well scanned solution set. When and where? Well, right here in Zoom. Now, camera's optional for office hours. And so here are the links, okay? Here's the link to class. This is in the syllabus. I'll also put this at the top of the reading page. And here's the link to office hours. Zoom office hours are Wednesdays and Sundays. So it's Wednesday right after class. We have an office hour for an hour from 8 to 9. We'll take a little break and then we'll have an office hour. And also we'll have a Sunday night kind of hangout office hour from 8 to 9. And these office hours will be recorded just like the lectures, and the notes will be posted in Blackboard in a folder that'll say office hour notes. And if I can figure out how to attach the PDF of the notes to the YouTube video on my YouTube channel, I will do that. And here's my YouTube channel. So if we go to my YouTube channel, it looks like this. And we got some playlists. Now I can see a lot more than you can see. All right. But there will be various playlists that'll pop up here. There'll be like live lectures from fall 2024. There'll be office hours from fall 2024 that'll be visible. And I'm going to have a 263 shorts videos for little topics that I'll do little pre-recorded videos or post-recorded videos on one or two little topics, and they'll be in there. And then there's special topics too, longer videos. So I'll always point you to those when they pop up. Any questions so far? I don't like the way this looks. Hang on, let me open this up from the folder. I don't like all that unnecessary border. There we go. All right. No questions so far? Okie dokie. Let's see. Let me just double check and see if the chat, if anybody's chatting in. Nobody's chatting in. Okay. I'll always be checking the chat. That's kind of one of the nice things about a remote class. If you're shy about asking questions, you can chat just to me personally, and I won't identify you. If you chat just to me and not to everybody, I'll assume you don't want me to identify you. So it's kind of a safe space to ask questions. So lecture and office hours will be recorded, like I said. There'll be other playlists as well as the Math 263 lectures and office hours. So how is your grade calculated? That's what everybody wants to know, is how does my grade get calculated? Okay, so it turns out it's 20% on homework. WebAssign is 6%, and that doesn't sound like much, but you get like 3 tries at every problem, unless it's true false. And it's a really easy way to get 6 points towards your 100-point, total grade. Definitely want to do your WebAssign, folks, because even though it's only 6% of your grade, a number of the concepts that you need to understand and practice with notation that you need to understand will happen. That practice will happen in WebAssign. Now, there's also special homework that I create and that you will upload a PDF for in Blackboard that's worth 14%, and occasionally maybe a quiz. Although I don't really like to burn class time for quizzes, I may put some kind of take-home quizzes that are timed in Blackboard for you occasionally. But the point is, WebAssign is only 6%, but doing WebAssign is going to help you master topics that I'm not going to be able to check your mastery of on special homework, because there's only so much time in a given week that I can spend on grading, and I do spend a lot of time grading. So that said, then there's special homework and quizzes. That's 14% of your grade. And these will always be due right before class. They'll always be due at 6 p.m. if they're due on a Monday or a Wednesday. And that's what I'm going to tend to do, is have those due Monday or Wednesday. And you'll have about a week head time. Like the first special homework, I've just about got it tweaked and ready to go for the semester. And I'll be putting it up this evening after class. And it'll be due next Monday. Because this is our first week of class, there'll be a second special homework also done Monday. But the first one is super easy. It's just sort of like a time management one, and where you learn how to figure out what your grade would be if you made certain grades. And also you get to kind of peruse the syllabus and my YouTube channel. And the ebook. I just want to make sure you know how to navigate all of the online resources that are available. So the special homework number 1 is really kind of like practice for you to create a PDF to turn in, and upload, and also kind of just this basic sort of clerical stuff. The homework number 2 will be more meaty. It'll be more mathematics, but I want to give you some feedback. As quickly as possible. You can always upload your special homework way before it's due. So the sooner you upload it, the sooner I can grade it and give you your feedback. I will scan, I will save a PDF, and I just use my Apple Pencil on my iPad. So it looks like I've actually had a hard copy in my hand and I've graded it, with a pen, and I upload that in Blackboard for you to view, your student feedback. So go ahead. Questions?
Oh yeah, I got a question. So do we write it like on paper?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Now, if you have an iPad that will create a PDF, that's fine. Like, you don't have to use a scanning app. I just need a PDF. That's the bottom line. So if you have an iPad, with a note, thing, with, like kind of where you can, you pull up lined paper or something and write your solutions that way and just save a PDF. That's fine. Is that kind of your question?
Yeah, so when we write it down, it was just like upload it as a PDF on Blackboard.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you don't know how to do that, come into office hours and I'll show you where to do that. But the thing is, there's going to be a folder called special homework. Okay. And when you click on the assignment, you'll be able to download the homework questions, and in that assignment, it'll say you can upload your PDF here. So it'll all be right together. Have you never used Blackboard to upload an assignment? It's real easy. It'll all be point and click. Like it's when you go to view the special homework assignment, you'll see that there's going to be a place for you to upload your solutions. Okay. And it's not timed. There's a deadline, but it's not like a quiz or test where it's timed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I type it up also? Or...
No, typed work is not allowed.
Okay.
Now, I'm glad that you asked that. And if you can stop walking around, that would be really helpful. It's just distracting. It's really distracting. Listen, the deal is, folks, because of the advent of AI, I think you all know how easy it is to use AI to generate solutions. You do not want to do that in this class. That is considered academic dishonesty. Do not use Google search. Do not use Solve It. Don't use Chegg. Don't use another person. And sure as heck, don't use Chat, GPT, or any other AI engine to generate solutions to your homework problems. That's cheating. And what it really does is it cheats you out of an opportunity to learn the concepts. Okay, so we'll talk about that more in a minute. I don't want to beat that horse too dead, but that's really important that you do not go online to search for solutions to your homework, because that's going to really not serve you well. So we have tests, 3 regular tests. And for everybody in this room, whether you're enrolled through TU or you're enrolled through Harford Community College at the Toon Center, you're going to be responsible to come and sit for the 3 tests. The dates are Mondays, September 30th, October 28th, and November 25th. And you all, if you're at Toon, you didn't have to fill out a form in order to join this online class. But if you're a TU enrolled student, you did have to check that you understand that there are 3 in-person tests. So plan accordingly now, folks, whether there'll be Dr. Desmond there at HCC. He advises you IT majors there at Harford Community College. He's going to proctor those tests on the Harford Community College campus during regular class time. That means it starts at 6:30 and ends at 7:45 on those 3 Monday nights. So make plans accordingly. You'll need to get to class for those 3 tests. Then there's a comprehensive final that's also in person for TU enrolled students. You'll be sitting with my other discrete math students on Saturday of final exams week. That's December 14th. For Toon students that are enrolled in this class, we are still figuring out what day your final exam is going to be. And as soon as I know, I will let you know. Rooms to be announced. And it's usually in the morning for the Saturday kids at TU. Does anybody have any questions about the tests or the final? The final is comprehensive. In other words, we'll have one little bit of material that we'll cover after test 3, and then that material plus everything that we've learned during the semester will be fair game for the final exam. Listen, the reason we're having tests in person is obvious. There have been way too many students that have just been too tempted. The stakes are so high. Everybody really needs to pass this class. And the temptation has just been very, very it's just too great for some students to ignore. And we had a huge number of students that we had to prosecute for academic integrity violations this summer who cheated on tests in my course. I'm really good at detecting solutions that you did not generate. I'm almost too good at that. And because of that, we've decided that we need to have in-person classes just to keep the academic integrity standard high and so that you won't be tempted. That's the bottom line there.
Oh, I had a question.
Yeah.
Do you keep I don't know if you went over this, but do you keep recordings of the classes?
Yes. Who's talking?
This is Isaac.
Isaac, yeah, there are going to be two playlists with recorded stuff. One in my YouTube channel. Okay, so if you go up here, there's a YouTube channel here. There's going to be a Math 263 lectures, and those will be recordings, and the associated class notes will be in a folder in Blackboard. And then another playlist in my YouTube channel for office hours. Those will also be recorded, and the notes will be posted in an office hour notes folder in Blackboard, and we'll navigate to those so that you can see what they look like. So,
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but attendance is expected. You know, you're expected to be in class.
Of course.
Okay, great. So
Is it
other questions? Go ahead.
yeah, is it a grade for attendance? Like, do we get like extra points or not?
You know, I thought about doing an attendance, and I can check who attends. You know, I can view the video and see who's, you know, around during the lecture. And we're adults here. You know, we're adults. So no, I don't, that's just more clerical work for me. And I got bigger fish to fry. You know, come to class. I'm going to trust you to come to class just the same way you can trust me to do everything I can to help you pass. Does that make sense? I'll notice, you know, if you're not here, Hussein, I'll notice. Okay. I mean, I may email you and say, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? You know, we missed you in class. But that's about as far as it's going to go. So here's the grading scale. It's standard for everybody in here, unless you're a grad student. I don't think I've got any grad students in here. You need to make 70%. In other words, you need a C, right, to be able to move on with your life. And my goal is to get everybody in here up to minimum of a C. We want everybody to pass. It actually turns out 20% of your grade comes from homeworks, and you can actually fail every single test and still pass if you do really well on your homeworks. I mean, not by much, but it turns out you can make about a 68 on every test, which is just below a C, and still pull a C in the class if you do well on your homework. Okay, and I'm not a super stickler, people. In fact, for a long time, a C was better than 65%, but the administration kind of cracked down on me for that. I mean, so if you're close to 70, I'm not gonna make you jump through the discrete math hoop again. Okay. I want everybody to be successful. I am a strict grader though, and you are going to learn a lot. So be prepared. You're going to learn a lot in this class. Here are the topics. Okay, and the chapters and the tests that each of those topics will appear on. Okay. So here's the academic integrity spiel. You know, you need to take the time to work through the concepts and master them on your own. Do not seek solutions to homework problems online. You know, don't use Chegg or Course Hero or Google or an AI bot. All right. So please, if you have any questions, go ahead and and ask them. And I discourage you from going to Khan Academy and that sort of thing. The best resource you have is me. And I have tons of office hours. Look, I've got I've got 2 Zoom office hours. And if you're on the TU campus, there are also office hours that I'm in my office Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3:30 to 4:30. I'm also in my office. So I will prosecute you if you cheat. All right. So it's not worth it, folks. You got to learn this stuff. Diversity statement. You can read this. It's all the standard good stuff. I don't discriminate. And if you feel like there's any kind of discrimination going on, please talk to me about it. Or if you're having any issues, please come to me. I'm actually a very reasonable human being, and I love what I do. And it's really important to me that you enjoy the class. And if something's going on that's making you uncomfortable, let me know. Isaac, you still got your hand up. Are you okay?
Oh, my bad. I'm good.
No problem. No problem. And if you have an accommodation where you're going to need testing accommodation, you need to let me know. Please email me with your accommodation letter so that we can get you set up to take the test, in the appropriate testing center, whichever campus you're enrolled in. Any questions? All right. And I'm just trying to get back to our website for our Blackboard site for this class. Oh, good Lord. I hate that. Hang on. Sorry. I guess it's a good idea, but man, it just drives me crazy. All right. Let's see what else is going on. Let's get back into just so you can see the lay of the land for the course. I teach a bunch of courses. You can see that. I'll put this in the student preview so it'll look more like what you see. So far we've got the link to class. We've got the link to the office hours. Those are two different Zoom links. Here's the link to WebAssign and the ebook. Okay. Here's the syllabus that we've just been going over. Let's take a look at the reading page. The reading page gives you the lay of the land. It tells you the day and the date and the textbook sections, what we're going to cover. It's got information about when tests are. Homework assignments, I'll be putting the due dates for homeworks here, both special homework and WebAssign, so that you can keep track of those. I'm probably going to put special homework here with class notes. I like to put the links right in here, but this new Blackboard Ultra makes the links look kind of ugly. If I can get a fix to that, then I can put the links to the class notes right in here. But if not, there'll be a folder. Good stuff. In this column, there'll be pointers to things to look for in the good stuff column folder. I'll show you where that is or where it's going to be. And like I said, this homework is going to get populated here. So keep an eye on the reading page. It's going to kind of be your one-stop shop to see everything that's going on in the class. So, for example, here's the special homework folder. There's nothing in it yet, but it's going to have a special homework in it. And then there's going to be class notes. They're already posted. Here's the lecture notes for today's lecture. We're going to be going through this material today. I handwrite my lecture notes because I just want to model how long it actually takes to do math. I don't like PowerPoint because you're never going to make a PowerPoint to submit to me. Why would I make you swallow a bunch of PowerPoints? I'm going to model to you what it looks like to write mathematics in real time. I think there's a lot of value to that because, for one thing, it gives you an idea of what kind of time it actually takes. Any questions so far? All right, so the syllabus will probably get floated down to the bottom of this list of folders here shortly, but not quite yet. Here, if you go to WebAssign in the ebook, this link will get you there. After a while, you should be able to just, oh, please do not make me, oh my God. Because I'm trying to remember my, it's not right. Oh, are you kidding me? All right, let me just go to Cengage. Sorry. I'm having some trouble getting into Cengage today. Oh, seriously? All right, well, I can't get into Cengage for some reason today. It just started. I was able to get in yesterday and I had no trouble, and I'm going to have to deal with that. But there's already a homework assignment up. Okay. So I apologize for that. It says it's launched in a new window. Well, that was the login window. Okay. All right, so announcements, always look for the announcements, but they're going to come to you in your email. So, check those. There's usually something important in them. It's not like after every class I say, hey, that was a great class. No, when I send you an announcement, there's something you need to know. Here's the calendar, like right here is information about, tonight's class, right? So for some reason, I'm not able to scroll very well. Yeah, I'm just having all kinds of issues. There's my scroll bar. Okay, first day of class with the link to class. So there's that. I don't know why it's at 11 p.m. instead of where I tried to put it. And then for like the first WebAssign is already up and it's due on Thursday. I'll be adding that to this particular app. Oh, maybe I couldn't log into Cengage because I was in the student preview. I wonder if that's what did it. I'm going to try one more time, and then I'm not going to waste any more time on it because everybody in here should be able to get into Cengage through your red shelf. There it is. Okay, so like here's the first assignment. It's already up. Okay. So you'll be able to keep track of your grades, and here there's like 6 questions and it's due Thursday. Okay. So you'll be able to always see that. Any questions?
Yes. So how did you get to the Cengage? You just clicked the link to WebAssign?
Yeah, just click this link. If I was in the student preview, is why it wasn't working. But if you've already you're enrolled in the class, you should be able to just click that link right there in Blackboard and it should take you right there. The other way to do it is to go through the TU Bookstore link. Is anybody in this class accessing your ebook and WebAssign through the TU Bookstore? Okay, so that link should work for you just fine. So go ahead and test it out now if you want to. And if there's some kind of access issue, then you need to call the bookstore and ask them. All right, well, it's time now for us to, are there any questions at all? So, I mean, what's the main deal? The main deal is, we're going to have lectures, they're going to be recorded, and then notes will be posted in the class notes folder, okay? Then there are going to be WebAssign homework problems. Those will be in the calendar, the Blackboard calendar. They'll also be on the reading page so that you know what's due when, and they also appear in WebAssign. Like WebAssign tells you what's due. Like every time I post something, you're going to get a WebAssign email, okay? Then there's special homeworks. Those are homeworks I create and I grade, and you'll just upload your PDF to Blackboard and you'll get your feedback, just like I graded like a hard copy of your paper. Then we're going to have office hours. They're recorded. They're going to be selected shorts and other videos that you can dip into. In fact, there's a little selected short that I'm going to create for a little bit of material that's not getting covered tonight. And with that said, I've gone over time. I want to go ahead and get started on our lecture. So I'm going to start this other video. I'm going to pin this and you're going to tell me if it's in focus. How's it look?
It looks good.
Does it look okay?
Yeah.
All right. So today is day 1 and these notes are already posted. Like I said, I'm going to try to model for you what it looks like to really write math. So welcome, folks. So our goals, well, we've already dealt with one of our goals, and that was to go over the course syllabus. We've done that. And I hope everybody, I know it's probably feels like it's as clear as mud right now, but it does get better. It will get better. And I think I got too much glare on this, so I'm gonna cut one light and see if that's better. Yeah, that might be a little better. Okay, so we're gonna actually cover material section 1.2. So that's kind of a mean shadow. Let's see. Every year it's a little different, depending on the time of night. I want to make, that might be better. Yeah, that's less of a shadow with my hand. And we're going to talk about sets, folks. And we're going to learn some new notation. Listen, everything in mathematics is about sets. Everything. Everything in math is a set. Then we're going to learn this idea of what it means for an object to be an element of a set. We're going to talk about subsets and proper subsets. And then the last topic is going to be Cartesian products or cross products of sets. And that's what, there's going to be a little shorty lecture in YouTube on that. And that'll go up tonight or first thing in the morning. And so just see Dr. Good's YouTube channel for this. You can also just read in the book. It's super simple. And again, I'm at Liz Good 2766. And it'll be 263 Shorts is going to be the name of the playlist. All right. So these are our goals. I'll always write the goals at the top of the first page of our notes. That's usually what will be being displayed at the beginning of class. So let's get our first definition. Folks, when I write a definition, you're going to see it in the left-hand margin. I'm going to say definition. So we're getting ready to write a definition. I recommend that you go ahead and start a glossary, maybe a separate little notebook or flashcards with definitions. A set is a collection of objects called elements. So we have two things being defined here. It's a 2-for-1 definition. Set and elements. Quickie first example, just a super simple example. Usually we use capital letters for sets. So A is equal to, okay, so we use curly brackets to contain the elements. So here I'm just going to put 1, 2, and 3 inside these curly brackets. Okay, and these are the elements. 1, 2, and 3 are the elements of set A. There are 3 of them. And we have a little bit of notation that goes with being an element of a set. We use the Greek epsilon, which is the E in Greek for element of, to indicate that an object is an element of a set. So here, 1 is an element of A, and that's the way we would read that. 1 is an element of A. But 2 is also an element of A, and 3 is an element of A. So this is the notation to indicate when an object is an element of a set. And it turns out, folks, you can think about these set brackets as being like a bag. And the elements are rattling around inside the bag. So the bag is the set brackets, and then the elements are floating around in there. It turns out that redundancy and order of elements is irrelevant. Let me show you what I mean. It's irrelevant. What do I mean? Okay, this set A that has 1, 2, and 3 in it. Well, we could write the elements many, many times, and there's no value added. Like we could write 1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't matter how many times you write an element, this set right here, it's still only got 3 elements. 1, 2, and 3. Like once something is in the set, it's in there. It doesn't hurt to write it more than once, but there's no value added. And there are natural set operations that we will perform where this might actually happen. So it doesn't matter. These are the same set. I mean, and it doesn't matter what order we write the elements in, as you see here, but you know, we could just write something like 2, 1, 3. It's the same set. They're both, you know, it's all the same set. So redundancy, you know, repeated appearances or order of the elements like here and here, doesn't matter. That set has 3 elements, period. Well, we have relationships between sets, so we need another definition. Given sets A and B, we say A is a subset of B. Okay, so that's what we're defining. A is a subset of B. And it's denoted by, oh, and folks, I'll always try to write, you know, new notation in red to make it easy for you to see it. And it's like a soft less than or equal to sign. So it's like a soft less than or equal to symbol between, so A less than or equal to B. If every element of A is also in set B. So in some sense, you know, A is smaller than B, or it could be the same. Okay, so let me just give you another quickie little example. We're just keeping it real simple right now. A is equal to the set containing 1, 2, and 3. And B could be the set that contains 1, 2, 3, and 4. You see, we can see how many elements there are in the set. If none of them are repeated, then there, you know, these commas indicate, oh yeah, okay, so 1 is an element, 2 is an element, 3 is an element. And B's got, of course, 1, 2, 3, and 4 in it. So here's the fact. Here's a fact. A is a subset of B because every element in A is an element in B, right? To see if A is a subset of B, we just check the elements of A one at a time. And we ask, hey, is that an element of B? 1 is in A. So we go over here and we say, oh yeah, 1 is in B. Check. 2 is in A. We go over to B. Yeah, there's 2. Check. 3 is an element of A. Okay, 3 is in B. Check. Every element of A is an element of B. So A is a subset of B. Does that make sense? But here's an interesting fact. This notation can go the other way. B is not a subset of A. And the way we denote that is you put the subset of symbol with a slash through it. Okay, so the slash through an operator symbol means just what you think it means. It means not, not that. So why? Why is B not a subset of A? Anybody?
Because B, every element of B isn't present in A.
Yeah, in particular, what element is in B that's not in A?
4.
Yeah, right. So B is not a subset of A because 4 is an element of B, but 4 is not an element of A. So here I've used this notation, element of, and I've also used not an element of. Again, element of with a slash through it means not an element of. Any questions? We'll play a fun true false game here at the end of class, and we'll see how much that's sunk in. Okay, so this game of subsets has another kind of iteration. We can play this game at a more kind of subtle level. So we have another definition. given sets A and B, lots of definitions in this class. We say A is a proper subset of B if two things happen. One, A is a subset of B. And two, there is some element, just call it little x, that could represent any element in B, such that X is not an element of A. In other words, A is a proper subset of B if it is a subset, but in some sense, B is bigger. A is smaller than B. B is somehow bigger. So, I mean, we've got an example right here. So example 4, which is the revisited example 3. A is a proper subset of B, right? Because A was a subset of B, but there was an element in B that wasn't in A. So that's what we mean by proper subset. Couple of facts. Let's get to the first one about subsets. For any set A is a subset of itself. So for any set A is a subset of A. That's just a fact. And it makes sense because every element of A is in A. And that's what you need for a subset, right? Every A is a subset of A because every element of A is also in A, you see. But what does it mean for two sets to be equal? Here's the definition. Given sets A and B, we say A is equal to B and it's denoted by A with an equal sign B, just the way you think it should be, if A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. It is A and B have the same elements. And we're going to look at this in some examples here in a minute, but the kind of the simple fact to understand is for any set A is equal to A. I mean, that seems kind of obvious because we've got the subset inclusion and it goes both ways because it's the same set on either side. All right, so let's take a look at some different kinds of notations that arise in set land. I like to call it set land. We have something called set roster notation, which you could think of as list notation. We've already been using it. And we're going to look at some other examples of it. You know, here's another example, just in case, you know, you need another example. C has, say, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 in it. You know, this is a set, and set roster notation is the notation where we have the set brackets and we actually list the elements with commas between them. However, we can use set roster notation even if we have an infinite set by using ellipses. So we have some famous sets where we can actually use set roster notation with ellipses. Let me show you what I mean. The integers. Now, everyone in here has probably heard of the integers. Now, it's such a famous set, it's got its own letter. Did you notice how we're always using capital letters to name the sets? That's just the way of the world, okay? We always use capital letters to name sets. We never, we never use lowercase letters to name sets. So the integers are denoted by, I use a double bar Z, but sometimes you might see a bold Z. and it's for the German word for number, which is Zahlen. Now, if we want to use set roster notation to write the integers, it would look something like this. Z equals, now there's an infinite number of integers, right? So how do we list them? Well, we use ellipses to indicate a pattern. So dot, 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 comma, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. I mean, what you need to do is see enough of a pattern that your reader knows for sure how that pattern continues. That's what the ellipses do. They indicate, hey, this pattern continues. So like, what is the missing number that would be right here to the left of -3 if I was going to write it? What would that be? Anybody?
-4.
Exactly. And then the next number here to the right of 3 is 4. And the point is, you know that because we've seen enough of a pattern that is obvious. Now, one of the things we like to do is start with a famous set and then tweak it. There's a set called Z plus. Anybody want to take a wild guess what is going to be in Z plus? What do you think that plus is going to mean?
Addition.
That is I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, we usually use a plus for adding things, right? Well, this is a good example to show you how a symbol in mathematics might be used for different things depending upon the context. This could be thought of as the addition symbol, but in the context here of sets, this is supposed to indicate positive integers, integers that are to the right of 0 on the number line. So here, the plus means positive, okay? And this is just the way of the world. We know we only have so many symbols and we have to recycle them. So not only is the actual symbol important, the syntax or the context of the symbol is important. So listen, folks, just FYI, 0 is neither positive nor negative. 0 is neither positive nor negative. So the positive integers start at 1. So this is the positive integers. It starts 1, 2, 3, dot, dot, dot. Okay. And I bet you can imagine now what Z minus might indicate. See, this is set roster notation, where we're using a listing of the elements, but because these sets are infinite, we're using ellipses as well. So it would be like dot, 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 -3, -2, -1. Those are the negative integers. Does that make sense? Any questions? Okay, now there's another kind of notation for sets called set builder notation, which again, I think it sounds like a 6th grade concept. I like to think of it as descriptive notation, but no author is perfect. So she likes to call it set builder notation. Let's look at some examples that use set builder notation. Also known as descriptive notation. So another famous set, example 7. The reals, the real numbers. Now listen, there's too many reals for us to list them. It's double bar R or boldface R. Okay, there's just too many of them to list them. However, we might say the reals equal X in the reals, where X is any real number. We would probably never really do that, but I'm just trying to show you that descriptive notation gives you information. There's this vertical line means such that, and this is like the property. Let me show you another one that will be a little more informative. R plus, what using set builder notation or descriptive notation, this is X in the reals such that X is strictly greater than 0. Okay. So there's information about a property that X has to satisfy in order to qualify to be in this set. It's got to be an X that is in the reals, but is bigger than 0 to be in R plus. And I'm sure you can imagine what R minus is. And this is in the book. So the general form for set builder notation is something like this. Some set D is equal to elements X coming from some superset, some, big set S, such that X has some property P of X. Don't let this disturb you, folks. This is just the first time you've seen this, okay? But this P of X means this is a property X must satisfy. And then, S is some set, some known set. Like, the reals. We build the positive reals from the reals. And this is the property. X has to be bigger than 0. That's all I mean by P of X. It's a property of X. Now, perhaps in high school, you learned interval notation, or maybe even in your programming, but it's something that we need to know. Sorry, interval notation. So here's an example that uses interval notation. A. R is denoted like this, soft bracket negative infinity to positive infinity. This is interval notation. You can look this up in the book when we're not going to be using it that much yet, but it's good to know. R plus, 0 to infinity. We're not including the 0, so we're using a soft bracket. R minus, negative infinity to 0, but not quite including 0. See, we're not including these because this is all soft brackets as opposed to square brackets. Here's one. Let's let set E be the set of X in the reals such that 2 is less than or equal to X is less than or equal to 4. Now here we're including the endpoints. 2 could be equal to X, 4 could be equal to X, or anything in between 2 and 4. So in interval notation, we would write this square bracket 2 comma 4 square bracket. The square bracket means we're including the 2 and including the 4 as possible values for X. Where here 0 is not a possible value for elements in R plus because 0 is not positive. It's also not negative. So that's what the soft bracket means. It means don't include the 0. Here's another one. F. X in the reals such that 1 is less than X is less than or equal to 3. Just to show you that you can have it on two different sides. It can be different. So here we're not going to include the 1. But anything just to the right of 1 all the way up to and including the 3. So this would be the interval notation. And if you were going to draw the number lines for these, like from high school, you probably used open holes and closed holes, right? But 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this would be from 2 to 4 and everything in between. So instead of open holes and closed holes, these would be closed holes. We just use the square bracket or the soft bracket. If we were going to draw this one, 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So soft bracket at the 1, we're not including it, square bracket at the 3, but it's also everything in between. These are infinite sets, folks. This set, square bracket 2, 4, it's not just 2, 3, and 4. It's not the integers. There's a gazillion numbers in here, like 2.5, and 2 plus pi over 49, and 3.39678 or whatever. There's a bunch of numbers in here, rational and irrational. So just to understand that when we use interval notation, we're talking about infinite sets. Both E and F have infinitely many elements. Everybody knows what infinite means, right? Finite means you could list the elements. That list would end. Infinite means there's no way to list all those elements. It's impossible. And that's why we can't use set roster notation. We have to use set builder notation when we're trying to do this kind of description. We have to, describe it. There's no way to list all of the elements between 2 and 4 if it's all real numbers. You can't list them with commas between them. There's too many of them. So let's just practice this. Which sets are equal? Here's three sets. A1 is the x in the reals such that 1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 5. Set A1, I'll just use subscripts to distinguish the sets. Set A2, x in z, such that 1 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 5. And 3, A3 is going to be equal to the set containing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So which of these sets, if any, are equal to each other? Just to test your understanding a little bit. Anybody?
Are A2 and A3 equal?
That's very good. Who's talking?
Oh, Edwin.
Edwin, nice job. Yeah, A2 and A3 are equal because you see A2 is x that are in the integers. And there's, that's a discrete set. There's space between those. It's an infinite set, but it's a discrete set. So these two are equal. And by the way, just, an aside, A2 is a subset of A1. Of course, A3 is as well, because A3 is equal to A2. Every integer is real. So let's end our time together with a game, okay? And this is to test your understanding of the difference between element of and subset of. Let me show you the definition of subset of while we play the game, just so that you remember. An element of, of course, 1 is an element of all these sets, 2 is an element of all these sets, 1.5 is an element of A1, it's not an element of A2 or A3, okay? But here's the definition of subset. Okay, A is a subset of B, denoted by A with this symbol B, if every element of A is also an element of B, okay? So true or false, here we go. A, the set containing 1 is a subset of the set containing 1 and 2. B, now sets can be elements of other sets, by the way. You're going to see that now. Set containing 1 is an element of the set containing 1 and 2. C, the set containing 1 is a subset of the set containing 1 and the set containing 1 and 2. So here's a set that's an element of this set. D, the set containing 1 is an element of the set containing 1 and the set containing 1 and 2. E, the set containing 1 and 2 is a subset of the set containing 1 and the set containing 1 and 2. And F, this is our last game for the evening. The set containing 1 and 2 is an element of the set containing 1 and the set containing 1 and 2. Okay. So let's look at A. According to this definition of subset of, is A true or false? You can raise your hand if you think it's true. Oh, Jasmine, you made it. Good. Go ahead, Ronnie. Anybody, go ahead. Nick, anybody, just speak up.
That is the subset symbol, right? It's a little bit small.
Yeah. Oh, is this looking small?
Hold on, I can zip it in. Yeah, that is true. First one is true.
Okay, Nick, you agree too. You're both raising your hands, right? And Deontay agrees. Yeah, this is true because listen, to check if this is a subset of this set, You look at every element in the set on the left. There's just one element, namely the integer 1. And here it is. You know, it sits here as an element. So every element of the set on the left is an element of the set on the right. So this is true. What about B? What do y'all think? Okay, Deontay's saying nope. Anybody else think nope? Anybody think yep? This is false. Yeah, it is false. Because listen, there are two elements of this set on the right, the number 1 and the number 2. This is the set containing 1. It's not 1, it's the set containing 1. So it's like 1 inside the bag. That does not appear as an element over here, does it? This set on the right doesn't have any sets as elements. This is false. But you know what would be true? The set containing 1 would be an element, say, of the set that contains the set containing 1 and the set containing 2, right? See, because this set has 2 sets for elements, and the set containing 1 is one of those elements. You see the difference? These are mind benders, okay? They look real simple when we're doing real simple stuff, but it gets interesting and fun real quick. All right, C. Is the set containing 1 a subset of the set that contains 2 elements? See, this set has 2 elements. 1, just the number 1 is one of the elements. The other element is a set, namely the set containing 1 and 2. So is the set containing 1 a subset of the set containing 1 and the set containing 1 and 2? So true or false for C? Raise your hand if you think it's true. Ooh, scary. Scary. Anybody? Nobody thinks it's true? It is true. All right, so how do we check to see if this subset inclusion holds? We look at the element of the set. I mean, if there were several elements, we would check them all, okay? But here there's only one element to check. It's a 1. We have to make sure that that element, this is our set A, okay? That element of A is an element of this set. We'll call this our set B. Well, there it is. Sits right there. So this is true. All right, let's look at D. True or false? The set containing 1 is an element of, this is element of the set containing 1 and 2, as opposed to subset of. I guess I can make this a little bigger. Subset of. Yeah, I should make this a little bigger. Subset of. True or false for D while I make these symbols a little bigger. And we're going over time a little bit. Thanks for playing. Anybody? All right, raise your hand if you think D is true. No nibbles on that one. I can't fool anybody with that. Okay, so this sequence of 3 symbols is the object that would need to be sitting here as an element. This is the set containing 1. Okay, it's the bag with the 1 inside there, right? That is not this. That's just the number 1. Doesn't have the bag. And it's not this either, because this is the set that contains 1 and 2. So indeed, the set containing 1 is not an element. So it's false to say that it is. Because the 2 elements, neither one of these 2 elements, this and this, neither one of them looks like that. How about E, true or false? Who thinks E is true? Eric does, and somebody else too. Let me view how many people are raising their hands. Cool. Kendall, no, Eric and Jasmine are saying true. Okay. All right, let's check it. There are 2 elements in this set on the left. There's a 1 and there's a 2. The 1 is certainly over here as an element. So that one works out. But this element 2 is not an element on the set on the right. There is no 2. There's a set containing 1 and 2. But you see, this isn't the set containing 1 and 2 as an element here. It's a 1 is an element and 2 is an element. So this is false. All right, last one.
Wait, could you explain that one more time?
Sure. To check that this is a subset of that, we look at every element in the set on the left. There are 2 elements, right? The number 1 and the number 2. We have to check that each of those is an element of this set on the right, okay? The 1 checks out. 1 is an element of the set on the left. It's an element of the set on the right, okay? Do you agree with that? But 2.
Okay, I understand that.
Right, but the 2 is not an element over here. Right, we'd need like a comma with a 2. Cool. Now, last one. The set containing 1 and 2 is an element of this set on the right. Raise your hand if you think that's true. Element of. Like, what are the elements of this set on the right? Yeah, I've got a few people. There's 1 is an element, and this set is an element. So true or false? Yeah, got several raised hands. Good. See it? There it is. This as an object sits as an element right there. Very good. See, isn't that fun? Okay. All right, folks, cool. So the notes are posted. I think my numbering of the examples might be a little off in the posted notes, but folks, you know, I'm not too worried about that. So thanks for playing. I'm sorry I ran overtime a little bit. I'll try not to do that in general. But I ran overtime going over the syllabus stuff. I think I was harping on academic integrity for a little too long. Anybody got any questions or comments? Did you learn anything?
Yeah, just one question. So we have one Thursday.
Hossein, I didn't hear anything you said. It was all garbled.
Oh, you said we have one homework on Thursday?
Yeah, you got a homework that's already due. It's up in WebAssign, okay? And I will update the reading page to reflect that, and I'll stick it in the calendar. You've already gotten a notice from WebAssign, you know, from Blackboard that an assignment was posted. But yeah, I'll get the reading page updated right after class to reflect that. And the first special homework will go up either tonight or in the morning. I want to do that little video short on Cartesian products and get that posted on my YouTube channel. This recording will go up in the new YouTube playlist. It takes about an hour for it to process, but you will see that appear shortly. That playlist doesn't show up right now because there's no videos in it. It takes, you know, it'll show up once there's a video in it. Y'all know how YouTube works. All right, any other questions, comments? Thanks for playing. I'm really glad that you're here, and you can stick around after class if you have any questions. I think I've got one folk that I sent a link to. Maybe we should make sure you can enroll. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
Office hours Wednesday night, right after class. Jasmine. I'm going to stop recording.